Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Uncle Frank, and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Guys, if you ever want to know what happened in the markets in one paragraph, add trading economics to your phone or desktop. Here you go. U.S. stocks slid on Friday as a sell-off in major tech companies weighed on Wall Street, heading to end a volatile but stellar year. The S&P 500 fell 1.1%, the Nasdaq 100 lost 1.3%, and the Dow dropped 333 points, snapping a 6-session winning streak. Thin holiday trading amplified market moves, with mega caps like Tesla losing 4.9% and Nvidia losing 2%, leading the decline. Despite Friday's losses, the S&P and Nasdaq posted weekly gains of 1.6%, while the Dow added 1.4%, supported earlier by the S&P 500's best Christmas Eve performance since 1974. Okay, red flag right here. Rising Treasury yields, with the 10-year yield nearing a 7-month high of 4.6%, added pressure on equities. I would say so. Investors are now shifting their focus to 2025, eyeing the Fed's interest rate strategy and the potential implications of Donald Trump's return to the White House. Markets have digested the year's key data, with expectations now set on rate cuts potentially beginning in May as the Fed balances inflation and a cooling labor market. Okay, so now we know what to look out for. The Trump administration, rising Treasury yields, inflation, and the labor market. Okay, so here's the first month of 2025, and this is the month of Trump. 23 days till January 20th. Do the bad actors have anything planned for us before then? I'll be on Swan watch until Trump moves into the White House and Gary Gensler moves out of the SEC. For Wednesday, New Year's Eve, the bond markets will close early at 2 p.m., while the stock market will hold regular hours. The stock and bond markets will both be closed, of course, for New Year's Day. Did you know the markets will also be closed on Inauguration Day because it's also MLK Day? Did you know that the World Economic Forum's annual meeting begins on Inauguration Day and ends that Friday? In January, we get ADP employment figures on Wednesday the 8th, employment data from the BLS on the 10th, PPI on the 14th, CPI on the 15th, and a rate decision from the Fed on the 29th. On January 25th, a rare planetary alignment will grace the night sky, featuring Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn clustered together after sunset. Visible to the naked eye, this celestial event offers a stunning visual display. Initial jobless claims come out every Thursday morning, and you need to watch it to see if it comes in too hot or too cold. And then don't forget the Fed's favorite indicator, PCE, comes out on the 31st. Take a screenshot so you know what's going to happen and when. I added the VIX options expiration days to this calendar. Not investment advice or advisor, but December 22nd is still jumping off the page for me personally. Guys, I highly recommend you go to the Earnings Hub, click on the monthly view, and print out the earnings calendar to go alongside your events calendar. Beginning on and around the 15th, Wall Street will be reporting their earnings. The forward-looking comments are going to reveal how the big dogs are feeling about 2025. On the 15th alone, you have JP Morgan Chase, Goldman, Citi, Schwab, Wells, and then Bank of America the next day. On the 21st, we'll see Netflix. The 22nd, Tesla. The 27th, SoFi. The 28th, AMD and UPS. The 30th, Apple and Meta. Any one of these giants can move the markets, so know when they're going to be released. Those familiar with this channel will also recognize this table of potential black swan events. Just because we have a president more focused on business than transgender toilets doesn't mean all of our swan threats have dissipated. Under geopolitical, we still have Israel versus Hamas and Hezbollah, Syria, Houthis in Yemen, and tensions with Iran remain. We still have the conflict in Russia-Ukraine. The China-Taiwan thing remains a threat. North Korea is always a wild card. And now the Trump inauguration itself could easily morph into a black swan event. Under systemic and financial, this is just a short list. $1.14 trillion U.S. credit card debt crisis. $1.8 trillion commercial real estate debt crisis. Current unrealized losses at U.S. banks stands at $750 billion. 6 days ago, the FDIC warned 68 U.S. banks are in danger of insolvency as lenders face $364 billion in unrealized losses. There's the U.S. $36 trillion debt spiral, and the government shutdown battle has been rescheduled to March 14th. Hidden hedge fund over leverage, securities sold yet not purchased, potentially billions of unreconciled synthetic shares may still lurk out there. U.S. may hit new debt limit as early as January 14th. Janet Notel and Yellen says the U.S. Treasury Department may need to take extraordinary measures by as early as January 14th to prevent the United States from defaulting on its debt, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told lawmakers in a letter on Friday. Yellen urged lawmakers in the U.S. Congress to act to protect the full faith and credit of the United States. U.S. debt is expected to decrease by about $54 billion on January 2nd due to a scheduled redemption of non-marketable securities held by a federal trust fund associated with Medicare payments. She said the Treasury currently expects to reach the new debt limit between January 14th and January 23rd, at which time it will be necessary for the Treasury to start taking extraordinary measures. Now I want to discuss some potential white swan events, especially how they may impact my number one crypto pick for 2025, XRP, and my number one stock pick, ACHR Aviation. This is not investment advice. I am not an investment advisor. I will never tell you to buy, sell, or hold any security or cryptocurrency. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. But first, the obvious white swan, the Trump administration and all the positive things he could get done with both chambers under Republican control. He has already said he wants eVTOL aircraft manufactured in the U.S. instead of China, which is good for ACHR. Abu Dhabi is aiming to become the world's first city to launch flying taxis, having secured a deal to operate a service in 2025. This collaboration with ACHR will also see a fleet of eVTOL aircraft manufactured in the United Arab Emirates capital. If successful, ACHR's Midnight craft will transport up to 4 passengers per vehicle between various vertiports dotted around Abu Dhabi, cutting journey times by up to 80%. ACHR's new manufacturing facility in Georgia is nearly complete and could be pumping out planes soon. We're already expecting a more favorable crypto atmosphere, which is good for XRP and crypto in general. Then we have the exit of Gary Gensler, which can only help in my opinion. I expect the SEC's case and appeal against Ripple to finally end in 2025, with the next court date being January 15th. We could see crypto play a role in Elon Musk's plans for Twitter's new payment platform. That could potentially involve Doge, XRP, XLM, and maybe others. There are at least 4 XRP ETFs in the pipeline right now, 5 if you include Grayscale converting their XRP trust into an ETF. I don't care what BlackRock says publicly, I'm convinced they will jump into the XRP ETF business as well. The Ripple stablecoin launch was a success, and with the trouble other stablecoins are having, I expect RLUSD's dominance to only grow. With Gensler gone, a Ripple IPO is back on the table. When Ripple finally exits the courtroom, I'm anticipating an adoption phase for RippleNet that could be staggering, involving major banks and money centers all over the world. Not only is XRP fast, cheaper, and safer, it unlocks desperately needed liquidity. Just ask Donahue George how badly the U.S. banks need liquidity right now. At this point, what is there left to say about the 2 original meme stocks? GameStop is doing great. AMC is doing for shit. It just dropped under 4 in the after-hours session. It's down over 35% over the past year, while Cinemark is up 122%, GME up 85%. On the GameStop side, we could always get another tweet from Roaring Kitty, or maybe Ryan Cohen will finally announce his long-term plans for the company and that $4 billion war chest he has. On the AMC side, what I said over a year ago was correct. This is dead money with Adam Aron as CEO, and without a Swan event, it will remain a zombie stock because that's what Adam turned it into. Now, we could get a black swan event that adversely affects our enemies on the stock, forcing them to cover what's left of their short positions. We could get a white swan event at GME, and AMC could possibly chase GME up like it has in the past. Adam Aron could resign, die, or get indicted or sued again. It would appear he's finally running out of stock to sell every time the stock picks its head up. They did recently add a woman to the board, a CFO with a strong history of working with Apollo in the past. They also added another CFO, this time from Bally's. So maybe Adam Aron is packaging up the company to be sold. Only time will tell at this point. So what are they talking about on Reddit's sentiment and mention tracker over the past 12 hours? I see Bitcoin in first, Ethereum in third, XRP in fourth, GameStop in fifth, Nvidia in eighth, AMD in ninth, Tesla in the 12th spot, and then ACHR has dropped all the way to 30th, and I've got something to say about that. I thought ACHR had a strong week, especially because I was expecting some pressure to the downside. ACHR closed at 11.18, shedding 15 cents or 1.32%, but not before setting a new 52-week high of 11.69, and this on a day when all the major indexes closed lower for the day. EV tolls made it into the Washington Post this weekend. Electric air taxis are taking flight. Can they succeed as a business? Who are they talking about? ACHR's electrically powered mashup of a helicopter and an airplane is among the first competitors seeking to earn certification to carry passengers under a category of aircraft envisioned under new rules by the Federal Aviation Administration. Years after Americans watched George Jetson zip to work in his airborne cartoon commuter, the flying taxi may be on the cusp of reality. Quote, they have created these amazing new aircraft that really 10 or 15 years ago would have been unimaginable, said Roger Connor, curator of the Vertical Flight Collection at the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum. Quote, it feels like the modern-day American dream. where you can invent a technology and actually bring it to market, even if it's as crazy as what some people call flying cars, said Adam Goldstein, CEO of ACHR Aviation. Cathie Wood's ARK ETFs have published their daily trades for Friday, December 27th, with significant activity across several sectors. Leading the purchases was Advanced Micro Devices, or AMD. In a substantial bet on biotechnology, ARK also bought 148,000 shares of Tempus AI exclusively through its ARK-G ETF, indicating a strong belief in the company's data-driven approach to precision medicine. On the sell side, ARK divested a total of 543,000 shares of ACHR Aviation, split between the ARK-K and ARK-Q ETFs, with a total value of $6.1 million. This move may reflect ARK's strategic adjustments or a reassessment of the urban air mobility company's near-term prospects. Hey, she sold too soon before. Let's see if she's wrong again. Speaking only for myself, there's no way I'm selling the future. If you drop the price of my favorite stock, I'll buy it again on sale. We learned Friday that Floki will become the second meme coin to launch a European exchange-traded product in January following Dogecoin. Uncle Frank went long on the news, not investment advice or advisor. For once, I agree with gerbil enthusiast Charles Gasperino, the shortest and most hated non-Pulitzer-winning journalist in America. The article is titled, SEC Focused on Ripple while ignoring Sam Bankman-Fried, if you'd like to read it, and Charlie's got a point. The SEC's ongoing legal battle with Ripple over its XRP token is that it is overreaching to regulate the crypto space while leaving more pressing issues such as Sam Bankman-Fried. Focusing on Ripple could be a concerning precedent for future digital asset regulations in the U.S. I would agree with that assessment. It's obvious to me Gasperino knows nothing about crypto, or he would add that XRP will never pay a dividend because it's not a stock. It will never pay interest because it's not a bond. You may earn interest on it if you're allowed to stake it one day, but that's another conversation. Just because you own the token XRP doesn't mean you own a fractional share of the creator company Ripple Labs, and that's because it's not a security. Charlie missed all this because it's over his head. But what isn't over your head when you're 5'1"? Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.